Hello everyone, welcome to Vision Tech Solutions channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about EIGRP or Enhanced Interior Gateway Routing Protocol, which is a Cisco proprietary routing protocol. It is a kind of classless routing protocol, which means it sends the subnet mask of its interfaces in the routing updates, and it uses a kind of complex metric based on bandwidth and delay to calculate the best path. It is also sometimes referred as a hybrid routing protocol, which has both the characteristics of distance vector and the link state. And of course, it is sometimes considered as a distance vector routing protocol with enhanced features. I'm going to show you the configuration of EIGRP in this lab. And of course, it is a very powerful routing protocol. It supports the VLSM or variable length subnet masking, discontiguous networks. It uses the reliable transport protocol or RTP to deliver and receive the EIGRP packets. It uses the dual algorithm or diffusing update algorithm, which is it is the best path selection algorithm. It guarantees loop-free paths and backup paths, and so many other features. So in this topology, as you can see, we have 10 routers with different subnets, with different networks between these routers. There are also loopback interface IPs, which is in the range of 150. So as you can see, the Ethernet interfaces are in the range 155.1.00/24. And the loopback interfaces are in the range of 150.1.xx with the slash. So if I just move the mouse over on router 10, as you can see, the loopback interface is 150.1.10.10, and these IP addresses are all configured. And the goal is to establish reachability. We should have full reachability between these routers and loopback interfaces, Ethernet interfaces. And one of the requirements is all new interfaces added should not automatically have EIGRP enabled on them, regardless of their IPv4 address. It means after we configure EIGRP, if we add any new interface with like a different IP, should not be added automatically. Then I will show you how we should meet this requirement. The other requirement for this lab is to AS number Autonomous System 100, and we have to enable EIGRP on both the Ethernet interfaces and the loopback interfaces. So I'm going to start with router 10. So first of all, let's look at the show IP interface brief. As you can see, the gig 00, which is 155.1.108.0/20.10, and 150.1.10.10 is the IP address of the loopback interface conf-t. Router EIGRP 100. Because we don't want EIGRP to be enabled later if we add any other new interface, we have to only advertise this interface, which means I have to exactly advertise this interface and not the network. So because if we advertise the network, if later we add another interface, it will be added to the EIGRP, which we don't want this to happen. Okay, so that's what we want here. Okay, we advertise this network and also we want to add the loopback interface, which is 1010. This loopback interface we want to advertise into EIGRP. I will advertise the exact IP address or the exact interface. Actually, the network command will enable the EIGRP on the prefixes. And because this IP address now corresponds to gig00, it will enable on this interface. That is the function of the network. It will enable the EIGRP on a prefix or on a network. And because now this network exactly corresponds to gig00, it will be enabled only on this interface, not on the network. If you enable it on the network, later if you add another interface with the same, which falls in that network, EIGRP will be enabled on that too. Okay, that was router 10 now. And also let's check something here on router 9. We can see the interface IP has been set. So first check show IP int brief. So 9. Let's see from router 9 we can ping the loopback of router 10.10.10. You can see that we cannot ping because we haven't enabled EIGRP, which we are now doing. So I enabled on the loopback and on this interface. Now I move on to 8. Show IP int brief. So I can see that this interface is 108.8 and the loopback interface. So conf t router EIGRP 100. So network 155.1.108.8 with the exact wildcard mask. And you can see the adjacency just established with router 10. Also, I need to advertise the loopback. Now to verify now the show IP EIGRP neighbor, and I can see now that I am neighbor with router 10 because I enabled on these two interfaces. Okay, now I move on to router 5. So I have one interface here, and the loopback. So conf t router EIGRP 100 network. So on gig00 155.1.58. Okay, also on this one I have to enable on this interface, which I didn't do. After configuring the R5, I will go and configure on this interface as well. So 58.5 with the wildcard mask of 0000, I have to enable on the loopback 5.5, and I have to enable also on this interface, which is 45.5 gig0 towards R4. 45.5. Okay, as you saw, route neighbor adjacency didn't form between R8 and R5 because I didn't enable on this, didn't enable gig01 on router 8, which I'm gonna do now. So show run section EIGRP. As you can see, 58 is not there. So conf t router EIGRP 100 network 155.1.58.8, and as you saw the neighbor. So show IP EIGRP neighbor, and I'm now neighbor with both R10 and R5. This is R10, this is R5. Okay, on R8, on R5 also show IP EIGRP neighbor, and you can see. Now, even with these three, if I now go to router 10, I should be able to ping R5's loopback. ping 150.1.5.5. Okay, I cannot ping. Why? Let's go see. Show run section AI. Oh, I made a mistake. The IP address, the loopback is 150.1.1. So I have to correct it. Router EIGRP 100. No. Network 155.1.5.5 with this subnet mask, and I have to correct because the loopback interfaces are in the range 150. And now it is correct. Now let's go and check again. And there you go. You can see that I can ping. So from here I have reachability to R5. But do I have reachability to 9? No, because still I haven't configured EIGRP. But loopback R5 is in a different network, but it is advertised to EIGRP, and I have reachability to R5 up to this point. Now I'm gonna continue with R4. Show IP interface brief. So I have to enable on all these interfaces. T router EIGRP 100 network. So first on gig 00, which is 155.1.45.4. See, the neighbor adjacency with R5 established because I had enabled the EIGRP on this interface. Now I go to gig 01, which is 146.4. 146.4, and of course on the loopback 150.1.4.4. Okay, now we'll continue with R6. Show IP int brief. So I have 3 interfaces plus a loopback. So I'm gonna enable on all router EIGRP 100. First 00, which is 155.1.46.6, 155.1.146.6. Then let's check on 155. Okay, we have enabled, that's good. Okay, 155 dot, and there is a mistake here. The IP address is 145, which should be 146. So let me just quickly correct that. 00, the IP address 155.1.46.6. And you saw the neighbor relationship just started. Okay, there was a mistake. This IP address should be 146.6. Okay, so I enabled on gig 00. I've been enabled on gig 01 and gig 02. Gig 01, which is towards R1, which is 61.6. This one. So network router EIGRP 100 network 155.1.61.6 on gig 02, which is 67.6. 67.6, and on the loopback 150.1.6.6. Okay, cool. Up to this point, because now if I show IP EIGRP neighbor, I am neighbor with R 4. So let's check from R10 can be 150.1.6.6. There you go, I can ping it. So we have now reachability from R10 up to R6 loopback because we have configured the EIGRP and we have advertised all the loopbacks, including router 6 into the EIGRP. Now I'll continue with R1. Okay, so I have to enable on gig 00 and 01 and loopback. Router EIGRP 100, network 155.1.61.1. And you see the neighbor adjacency established. On this one, 13.1. 13.1. And on the loopback, 150.1.1.1. Okay. Now I will continue with R7. Show IP interface brief. So I have to enable on gig 00, 01 and 02. 01, 02. Router EIGRP 100, network 155.1.67.7. .79. This one is 73.7 towards R3. .7 and 79.7, which is towards R9. 79.7 and also on the loopback 1.7.7 and show IP EIGRP neighbor, and I established toward R6 67.6 because I haven't configured an R3, which I'm doing it now. Show IP interface brief. So I have to configure all these interfaces. Conf T, router EIGRP 100, network first toward R7 or first toward R1, 155.1.13.1. Sorry, I made a mistake. Network .3. .3. Okay. Gig 00. I have to remove no. Okay, so I established network adjacency with R1. Gig 01 towards R7, which is 73.3 toward R7, toward R2, which is 32.3, and on the loopback 150.1.3.3. Okay, show IP EIGRP neighbor. As you can see now, because I configured an R1 and R7 previously, now R3 is a neighbor. Now we'll continue to R2. Show IP interface brief. Conf T, router EIGRP 100, network 155.1.32.1 towards R3. 32. Okay, I think also it should be 1. So let me quickly go to gig00 IP address 155.1.32.1. Or I think it is correct. But yeah, so it is correct, but router EIGRP 100, I should put 2, I put 1 by mistake. No network 151.1.32.1, and it should be 2. Okay, now the router adjacency established, and also I put 150.1.2.2 on the network. So show IP EIGRP neighbor. I establish router adjacency with R3, and last one R9. Show IP intrif. Router EIGRP 100 and network 155.1.79.9 towards router 7, and the loopback interface, which is 150.1.9.9. Show IP EIGRP neighbor. Okay, now I'm neighbor adjacent. Now let's go to R10 and now check, because initially we wanted to see if we can reach R9's loopback. 9.9, and there you go. So we have full reachability between R10 and R9 loopbacks. Let's check another router. For example, check 3.3, we have reachability. 2.2, we have reachability. Let's check one of the Ethernet interfaces. For example, let's check the Ethernet of R7. 155.1.73.7, and we have reachability because we have advertised this network into EIGRP. So that was a basic configuration of IP routing protocol, EIGRP, or enhanced interior gateway routing protocol. The requirement was only to enable on the specific interface, not the network. So in case later another interface is added, it will not be advertised into the EIGRP network. I hope this lab has been useful. If you found this lab useful, please like this video and share it with your friends, and also subscribe. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.